This is the new iPad Pro. Now, I've been using it for about a few days, and I wanted to talk about the experience of using it instead of really breaking it down spec by spec, because we know you guys and gals can just read that easily. And I really think you're into these two camps when it's about the iPad Pro. Some of you might be curious watching it right now, but you're really someone who has already owned an iPad and know you want it, or you're someone who doesn't really care about it because it can't do all the things that a PC does. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I'm in the camp who's loved the iPad from day one. Everything here is just faster and snappier. Apple talked about their ProMotion display with their 120 Hz refresh rate. It does back up the claims of being really buttery smooth. You've just got to try it and see it. And so let's just even look at this, jump into some apps. We can go here. It's super fast and snappy. I can pop right back out. I can scroll through the home page. You can just see and really feel this is the fastest iPad you've seen. Touch ID is also faster. And let me tell you right now, fast don't lie. We have to talk about the Apple Pencil and its 20 millisecond latency. This has been improved from the previous iPad Pro. I can tell you it's just a slight difference, but it really does make all the difference when it feels like a one-to-one relationship with the Pencil and the new iPad. It's not really for me to say if you should just go out and buy this iPad right now. You've honestly had about 7 years to decide whether this fits in your life or not for you and your family. But let's be honest, if this is the first iPad Pro you get, you're gonna get spoiled by the speed. I'm a fan of the 12.9-inch iPad Pro because I read comic books every day, I'm watching movies, I'm traveling a lot, so that's really the sweet spot for me. But for most people, I think it's really gonna be all about the 10.5-inch iPad. It's a great size and you get that extra screen. Now, we can't really consider this a full review just because we're waiting for iOS 11 to come out, and Apple showed us at WWDC all the new things it can do. You have drag and drop, you have this new file and folder system, the ability to save spaces with different apps, and then also the different ways you can mark up your work on the iPad Pro. It really makes the Apple Pencil worth getting. So bottom line, this iPad is no longer just a glorified larger iPhone. It's still not gonna do everything that a Surface Pro does. It's just not gonna happen. I've criticized them for years to make us a hybrid OS, but Apple doesn't wanna do that. Apple's not going to do that. So let's just stop this wishful thinking and accept it's not gonna happen. But they're finally, right? They're giving the iPad Pro an identity of its own, and that's important just, 7 years later. Now, if there's really one thing to criticize Apple about with the iPad Pro, it has to be its accessories. So you have the power adapter that comes with it. That's a 12-watt power adapter. And if you're at 0 and you want to charge up to 80%, that'll take about 3.5 hours. But let's say you want to get Apple's USB-C power adapter that's 29 watts, as well as their USB-C to Lightning cable. Apple doesn't really talk about this much, but if you do purchase those, it's gonna cost you around 80 bucks. That'll actually charge your iPad Pro from 0 to 80% in 1.5 hours. That's about 2.5 times faster. And why are we talking about 80% of this benchmark? Well, Apple's fast charge window is in that time, but after you hit 80%, it slows down the rate of charging to extend the life of your battery. So that's really my biggest criticism right now. If we're talking about the iPad Pro just itself and just the product, this is the best it's ever been, and it's gonna get a whole lot better with iOS 11. So check this out. If you own one before, if you're looking for an upgrade, this is really the iPad to get.